just like we've done, and it says we're live. Here we go. I'm going to put this up while we're waiting.
Okay.
Just till we start wanting to talk. I just want to make sure it's going live. Looks like it has on Facebook.
Yep.
And then I just want to see for YouTube. We've got one down going live. And we've got YouTube live, I believe. Yep. All right. Jason, we've got people joining us, so I just want to let everybody know to sit tight, and we are going to be starting at 7 o'clock. Jason, we've got people joining us, so I just want to let everybody know. Oh, got to turn that off. And that is why we came on early.
Right.
So, but anybody who's coming on, you know, if you have any ESA questions, feel free to ask them. Hey, Tracy, how's Cole and TR and everybody up your way? Curious to see how much delay we have. I think it's 10 seconds. She said, we are awesome. Jason, are you seeing that scrolling up on your side too?
I will, 1 second. Yes.
Okay.
I'm frozen on mine. Am I frozen on yours?
You're frozen on mine.
Huh, weird.
Let me undo you. Let me add you again.
Okay.
Still frozen.
Interesting.
We can hear you though. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Let me remove you again. Still frozen.
You want to get out and come back on?
Yeah, go ahead. You can exit out. Can you figure out a way to how to? Okay, you left.
Yeah.
Adding you back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, I guess if that happens, it might not happen if I'm not on.
Okay.
Maybe if it's just, I don't know.
Let me mess with the lighting in here. Is that too dark? I need that. Did it look better with the light on?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Your dad said, good job. And yes, it looks better with the light on. Are you there, Jason? Are you able to move? Okay, it just looked like you were frozen again.
I was responding to Tracy. She said I was good in New Jersey today.
Oh, are you able to surf up there, Tracy?
It's a pop. Voice only. There's a ripper for you. Jeff Mosley.
Hey, Jeff. Phew. So we're just hanging out for like 10 minutes before this because we just wanted to really make sure that this was going to work tonight after what happened last week. And it looks like everything's going smoothly. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, can you see us clearly and hear us clearly? We've got Dylan on watching us. Hi, Dylan. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Just be patient. Oh, your dad's watching us on YouTube. So, Jason, when you're responding as ESA.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. Hey, Chantel. Thanks for coming on.
I guess I don't need 2 stickers on my board because we can see the other one.
Oh, yeah, we can. Yeah. It still looks good. The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, I'll leave it. That is funny. Oh, I moved. The only thing I don't like with the comments on the computer is I can't like the comment or comment back.
Well, you can comment back by speaking.
Oh, true. But like on Facebook, I can, like when someone clicks on, I can hit the like button.
Right.
Know, hey, I see you on here.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not showing on my Facebook one I got right here. It's not showing my dad.
Because he's on YouTube.
Ah.
He said he's watching it from YouTube. In fact, Bryn Gallagher just came on. She's watching it. All-Star Bryn Gallagher. She's watching it from YouTube. Hey, guys. Can't wait, she said. And then we've got Jeremy Wood. Landon's dad just joined us. Hopefully the whole Wood family is watching, but they're on YouTube. I mean, I'm sorry, they're on Facebook. So slowly but surely, we've got people coming in. So I think that's good that we can get comments from both Facebook and YouTube on the one side, so you can respond to both. So if anybody has questions. Oh, my sister just tuned in. Hi, Sherry.
It's my neighbor. I got my window open. I don't think people are used to seeing me in front of a computer. Voice says he's here for the free food. Me too.
Oh, cool. Landon, All-Star Landon is watching. Our All-Stars just got back from Hawaii. Well, a month ago. Wishing we were all still there.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. Got a pic of Landon I'm trying to find. Oh, here you go. You see that? It's not coming in, is it? Landon Wood dropping into a bomb at sunset.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he's a nut. Landon Wood, I'm making you famous. That little dot is Landon.
All the way at the bottom of that really, really big wave. Jason, your mom joined us.
Hey, Mom.
John Ross is on here, our webcast guru, and helped with us doing this, getting it to our ESA website. So thank you, John. Couldn't do it without you.
There we go. That one looks better. See. Okay.
Yeah, that one's better.
There you go. Landon Wood charging.
So how many of you guys watched the Hobgoods movie and 2F by C this weekend, or have watched it since? It was such a good movie.
Yeah, it was.
We watched it when it first came out back in December, and then it just got on Amazon Prime. So we watched it again this weekend. Yes, Boyce, that picture of Landon was at sunset. Oh, you're responding.
Sorry.
Kylie Pulcini. Sorry, Kylie, if I'm mispronouncing your last name. She said she's watched it 1,000 times.
It's a good movie.
Oh, Kara's on here. Hi, Kara. She's watching it from YouTube. This is fun. Tracy, the Devaney's watched it up there in New Jersey and loved it.
Neighbors. Boys.
Waves in New Jersey. Hey, David Porch, our head judge joining us here.
This was kind of Dave's brainchild right here. When we had that phone conversation.
Yep.
He was talking about doing this. So thank you, Dave. Great idea.
Yep.
Okay. We'll see if we pull it off. But so far, so good.
Now we need CJ.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so those of you watching, this came about because we've been discussing about our regionals and not being able to connect with our members like we normally do in the spring and with local contests. And David Porch had the idea of starting some online content that would keep us all connected. So I kind of ran with it, and here we are. And so this is pretty cool. So we can stay connected and offer you guys something fun and entertaining. And I mean, everybody's home searching for online content that's entertaining.
Whoa, big one. Curious. What do you think about that?
I'm going to let you answer that one, Jason.
Holy smokes, this is a lot. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but I mean, I don't agree with not, putting all these sports as essential sports, especially, golf, and telling us that we can't go, surfing. That part really bothers me, but I understand why they're doing it. And, I know it's a tough decision for them to make, but I just don't understand how you can make certain sports essential and allow people to do them, but you're not going to allow us to, go surfing. When anyone who knows anything about surfing, we try to stay away from each other. If there's one sport where you want to stay away from each other, it's surfing. So I don't agree with it. I know they're trying to do the best for everybody, but it's a pain for a lot of people, especially people like myself that use it as therapy, because we can go crazy if we don't have it. But hopefully soon this will all be over and we can all just go surfing and play on the beach and run on the beach and do whatever we want. So that's how I feel about that. Hey, my son's watching. Josh.
Okay, so I just got a message from CJ. He has to download Chrome for this platform. So it might take a little bit late.
Well, while we got some people on here, we'll just let everybody know Thursday, 7 p.m. this Thursday, we're going to have Rob Kelly on here. So he'll be our next interview. And then
wait, I have it. Look, Tara provided me with that today.
Oh, sweet. There we go. So Thursday, Rob Kelly, former East Coast champion, big wave ripper from New Jersey. And then on the 21st, which will be next Tuesday, we're going to have Corey Lopez on here. So we got a lot of cool things planned. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. And
starting next week, we are going to begin offering our ESA online surf courses that are for ESA members. And these are going to be courses offered via webinar. So you'll get a link to join us, and it's limited to 100 people. But the first one we're going to be offering is next Monday night at 7 p.m., and it's April 20th. And that is going to be surf forecasting with Surfline. So Kurt Corte, who's one of the lead surf forecasters for the East Coast, he's going to be joining us, and he's going to be basically talking about all the basics of everything for surf forecasting. And what you can do is register for them on our surf sign up pages like we do for any of our other ESA events. These are free to ESA members. You just have to make sure you register in order for you to get the link and also to get any supporting documents that are going to come along with it.
So they go to Surf Sign Up and sign up for these?
Yeah, so they register just like an ESA event.
Okay.
And then they'll get the link for the webinar for next Monday.
And so when they click on it, if they're a member, it just waves them through? Okay.
Yeah, you have to be a current member through Easterns. So it's just the same as regionals. And if you're not a current member, then it's going to invite you to do that. And we do have CJ with us right now.
Hey!
Hey, it worked. Whew.
Nice. Look, I even got the little ESA icon. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, it's right where her hat is.
Oh, wait, I can take it off.
No, I like it. Leave it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to exit out of here when you and Jason talk, so you'll have more space.
That looks good. Yeah, I had to do some, which was almost outside of my technological experience here.
Downloading Chrome, I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man, they're going to ask me so many questions.
You did it quick.
Is it working? I mean, it's working so far.
It's working.
Yeah,
I see
you're
us on YouTube and I see us on
Facebook. Look at that, dude. That's crazy, man.
Right?
18 different StreamYard.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Zoom. No one's freaking got the StreamYard though.
Underground.
Ooh-wee.
I am now the ESA technical expert, and I know everything there is to know about it.
Let's talk about how much digging you did.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a very long week.
StreamYard, dude. StreamYard.
And you can stream to 2 places. So we're streaming to Facebook, we're streaming to YouTube, which is automatically then streaming to the ESA website. So we're actually on 3 places right now.
Sorry, Zoom. That was yesterday, dude. Who was hanging out with the old crew, dude?
That's right. All right. I'm going to let you two talk. I'm just going to introduce you real quick. For those of you watching, I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us for ESA's second chance at trying this, first episode of our Talking Story with Jason Motes, our ESA All-Star coach. And I want to thank CJ for being our very first special guest. You are very special to the ESA. We thank you so much for always supporting us. And thank you for being patient and being here with us tonight. So with that, I'm going to try to exit myself out of here and turn it over to you guys. And CJ, this is your first time using this. So over on the right, do you see all of the comments coming up?
That's a great question. I don't see anything. But that doesn't mean they're not there.
Okay. So if you click over on the right, there's a thing that says comments, maybe.
Oh, it says live comments. I just clicked on it. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So you're going to get comments from people watching Facebook and through YouTube. So they're all going to be streaming.
Wow, look how thick this is, dude. My mind is blown. Right, Motes, what about you? Your mind blown?
I've been working on it for 3 days, and I'm still mind blown.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks
We had to
for
practice.
Work. Can I type that in? Can I type a comment in? Like, thanks for working on StreamYard for the last 3 days.
Thank the Lord, this is working.
You know what? This was all meant to be because I don't know what platform we were going to use before the other day.
Zoom.
Wouldn't have been this good.
No.
Way better.
Yeah. I think it all happens for a reason. We know that, right?
Yep. Sorry, Zoom. I just told my stock right now. I'm on my phone. Zoom stock.
So
CJ, everybody on here has been watching your movie this weekend. So they've all watched it if they on Prime. So
speaking of getting it to work, did everyone get it to work? Was it free? Like all that good stuff?
I rented mine, and it was really good.
Well, see, you rented it, so you were the catalyst that got it for everyone for free.
Yes.
You're welcome, everybody. It's my gift.
Applause right there. Move. Come to the table.
It was awesome, man. Really good movie.
So CJ, now there's a 10-second delay. So now you're seeing the comments coming up from your question.
Yeah, I might get, my brain might just melt if I'm looking at like talking and looking at the screen and the thing. Woo! I'll be doing 3 things at once. I'll be out of my. Woo-wee.
You're good. All right, guys. I will see you in a little while.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
StreamYard.
All right, bro.
You're the master of hosts, so you do
of us. So, first of all, anyone who's just joining us, I'm sure you know this man, 2001 World Champion CJ Hobgood. I'm very blessed and lucky to have seen this guy, him and his brother, as little Groms coming up in ESA, and watched his whole career coming up, and it's been amazing, to see what you guys have done in and out of the water, and we're gonna touch on a bunch of that stuff. But the first thing I want to talk about is the movie. Incredible movie about the life of you and your brother. It's absolutely incredible. And then, Daniel Tosh is narrating the whole flick. I want to know how that happened.
Well, the ESA brought us together, man. We were all ESA alumni, and so yeah, he did the ESA, and then obviously we did the ESA. A lot of the Hatteras regionals is in the movie, and yeah, I mean that. You could say that's the best of times, man. Where my mind is at, we don't have to go there right now, but where my mind is at is like, okay, what are all the kids feeling right now? What are they thinking? Like, okay, it's going to start up maybe here. Here's what contests we'll get into. Here's what, my season will look like. Here's where I want to get to. Here's my goals, because I feel like every day that goes by, like your goals and what you're thinking with the kids and what the kids are thinking. Motes, have you been having a lot of conversations on like where the kids' heads are at with a lot of the year?
Not really. A lot of my kids that I work with, especially my young Groms, their parents are having to homeschool them. So there's a lot going on there.
Bro, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
homeschool's got me, my brain in a pretzel, dude. I'm teaching a first grader over here. Woo-wee.
Yep. So other than like Instagram stuff, I haven't had a whole lot of contact with them. Just waiting for this, waiting for something to happen so I can get them back in the water. The first 2 weeks that they made them all stay home from school, I was able to take them surfing. So it was awesome. I mean, I had, me and all my Groms were going to the Jacks Beach Pier, surfing, having a blast. Then they'd go home, start their schoolwork. And then they closed Jack's Beach, the beaches in Jack's Beach down. So the following week, I was able to take them to a little secret spot in St. Johns County, just south of here. The beaches were still open. So I was taking them there. We had a great week, and then they closed that up. So for the last couple of weeks, man, they haven't been able to get in the water. They're dying. They're, stressed out with school. I know parents are stressed out. Everybody's stressed out. It's like everybody just wants to get wet again.
Yeah, I feel like some of the kids are living their best life right now, though. The parents are like, what do I do now? But the kids might be going, man, this is pretty dang good.
Let's just keep it this way.
Stay on detention for another 3-4 weeks here.
It might be. This might be the end of the year right here. Who knows? Hopefully.
You know what I did right before, like as we were going on lockdown, I went, man, I got a couple spots on my back. I went to the dermatologist, got stuff scraped.
Smart.
They biopsied it, called me back in, and now I need to get the stitches out. I'm ready to go back to surfing.
There you go. Well, hopefully it'll be very soon, man. We can get them all back out there. Speaking of that, you've got some kids that you're working with too. I know that you're part owner of Salty Crew, and you guys have a really cool young team coming up. In fact, one of my All-Stars, Teddy Whitteman, is hooked up with you guys. Great little kid, man. What's new with all that stuff going on?
Yeah, I mean, we have all the kids. Obviously, I can't even remember all the kids' names, dude.
You got one up here named Ty Jansen too. Ty's a little ripper from up here.
Yeah, up in Jacksonville.
Yep.
The Coluccio Bros, Cash Waters, Teddy. Actually, you know what? Right, like that cold front, this is seriously right before we went on lockdown. Me and Levi Slauson jumped over to the Bahamas, and we had a really fun trip. So, I mean, how they say, I mean, you can attest to this. They say it keeps getting better, but I mean, I'm able to do trips now, pressure's all off. I don't have to perform. I just go out there and have fun. And then I can just watch the kids do what they do and then sprinkle nuggets. I mean, it really is fun. And that's the season that you're in. But man, it's really rad, dude. It's really rad to be in a position to, give back in so many ways. And it's like, you say that, or you talk about that, like, oh man, when I got older, I wish I could, give back. But that door is swung open and, more than I could dream of in so many different ways. So it really has been, beyond my wildest dreams this awesome program. Very
cool. Yeah, I mean, for me, man, I'm so my All-Star kids and then my local kids that I work with. I mean, they're giving me so much. It's like they're so thankful for what I give them, and I'm looking at them going, man, I'm the lucky one here. You guys are making my life right now. I mean, just being with them and that young energy and just everything is just so, surfing's so new and they just love it. That passion, it's infectious, man. Keeps me a Grom at 48 years old.
That's true, man. It was funny. When I was a kid, I would see people that, the age that we're at, to give back so much. And I remember when I was a kid, I always look at these people and be like, man, why does this guy just get so stoked on just giving stuff? Yeah. To, taking me surfing or giving me this or helping me out. And I never understood it. And then I got older and I was like, I get it now.
Yeah, totally. and on that same thing, you grew up in, for the Central Florida District. It's where you guys started ESA. Do you remember who the director was back then? And then also who were some of these older guys that were kind of, mentoring you when you guys were real young coming up?
Yeah, it was Walsh, the last name Walsh. What was his? Right, that he used to. What was his first name?
Doug Walsh?
No, what was the guy that used to do? What was the guy that did it when we were doing it? Man, it was when I was a kid, it was like Chad Oxner, Josh Wilson, dude. Chad Oxner, me, Corey, dude. No one could beat Chad Oxner, dude.
Yeah, Chad Oxner was hot back then, dude. I remember. Yep.
Yeah. CT. Dave Dixon, that dude. I'd basically be pulling up if I got a fourth place, that was pretty good. But but man, it was just, there was so much talent, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah. I remember Chad. What was the kid's name? Mike Lee.
Oh, Mike Lee.
Mike Lee was a little ripper back then too. And
my brother is friends with him out in California.
Oh, that's cool.
He goes fishing with him all the time. And dude, Mike Lee's doing great.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, update. Mike Lee's doing great, but that guy was, man, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But to that point, there's going to be some, like, there's little rippers that are ripping right now, and they're going to go on to rip, and then there's like little underground guys that are going to blossom and go crazy. So that's fun to watch. Yeah,
absolutely. No, I love it.
Frank, is that his name? It wasn't Frank Walsh. Tom Walsh. Is it
Tom Walsh?
Tom Walsh. Yep. Mitch Kaufman. Thank you, son. Thank you very much.
Oh, Mitch. Dude, in fact, I got to thank Mitch right now because this computer that I'm on right now, Mitch helped me hook me up with it so we could do the shows and stuff. He's known as the mayor of North Florida. So thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it, buddy.
Walsh, dude. That guy gave everything. Mitch, what's Tom up to right now, dude? Yeah, that guy, dude, he was sun up to sundown, man. Those are some long days, dude. Like,
yeah, very cool.
I named my Grom CJ. Whoa, what's it stand for? Clifton James? Oh, no.
How's your dad doing, man?
He's doing great, dude. Actually, I haven't seen him though. You know, I'm like, man, I don't want to be the one that kills you, dude. You know,
right?
So I haven't really talked to the parents, so I haven't seen them, but they're doing good. They're doing great. But yeah, no, my dad's doing good. I'll get people like, saw your dad checking the waves. So he rides his bike up, checks the waves every day.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man. Sorry.
The first time I saw you guys, I can't remember the year of it. I was actually in men's division. We were at East Coast Championships. Your dad had you guys down there. I think I'd seen you at regionals and everything, but never really watched you guys surf. And I remember they were having the contest at the groin, and just past the flag where they let free surfers. This one afternoon, it was like waist high, perfect offshore wind, and no one was surfing out there. And I was like, shit, I'm just gonna go surf. So I paddle out, and you and your brother came paddling out. Your dad was on the beach just kind of watching you guys and everything, standing there. And man, I'm having a session. I'm feeling good about myself. I think I might have been 19, 20. And all of a sudden, you guys get out there, man, and y'all are these little bitty guys, and we're pulling into tubes and stuff. And I'm going, holy crap, dude! These kids are ripping. And I got to the beach, and Mitch, as a matter of fact, was there. And I was like, guys, that's such a killer session. You see that floater I did, And he's going, dude, those two little kids just blew you out of the water. And I was like, come on, man. I had some floaters. I was talking to your dad. I met your dad when I came in. I was like, we were talking about you guys out there, and you guys were just having a session. And it was just the three of us. And the waves were so fun that afternoon. I'm sure you probably don't even remember it. But it was just on the side of the contest. They were running heats, and we just paddled out. It was just the three of us out there. And that's when I met your dad. He's a super nice guy, man. Just, and every time I saw him after that, he always, said, hey, what's up? Just so friendly. It was really cool. Very cool.
Yeah, he's got a great positive, he taught me the power of positivity for sure, man. He would always be stoked no matter what, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I loved, always saw him pat you on the back, whether you did, hugging you, patting on your back, whether you did good or bad or anything. It was like, he was there for you. I never saw anything, anything bad out of you guys or him or anything. It was just a very cool support system there, man.
Thanks. Yeah, he almost yanked me out of the contest one time. He's like, jump in the car, pack it up. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, you're not having fun. I'm like, supposed to be having fun. Nice day on the beach, sun shining. Okay, Dad, I'll have fun. Dad, I'm cool. I'll have fun.
I want to go home.
Yeah, I mean, it was like that was the heartbeat right there.
Yeah.
Look, I know you're competitive. I know you want to win, but we're like, if you're not having fun, then we're gonna pack it in here. So, yeah, it was. He did pass on some really good things.
Yeah. So you living close to you?
Yeah, I'm in Orlando now, and he's in Satellite Beach. I mean, we go see him every weekend. I stay at my mom's house a lot. But the last month, no, we haven't been over there. So yeah, we've just been hanging in the hood here. So like I haven't been surfing, like I said. But no, it's been good, man. Like, careful what you ask for. You know, I wanted to spend more time with my kids, and I've been getting that.
Heavy dose. What do you do? What do you do to stay in shape? You know, on your off time, something like this right now. What are you doing to keep your body up?
This morning I woke up at like 5. Got like a YouTube workout, David Goggins, like old military style workout, and then I went and ran 3 miles, couple miles, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
I've been. It's weird, man. I think the furthest I've ever run was from like the parking lot to the water, and then when I turned 39, I started like, you know, just dabbling in it. And actually, you know what happened, dude? My wife came home. She's like, "I signed you up for a triathlon." And I was like, "Why'd you do that?"
Holy
She's
shit.
like, "Well, actually, they signed me up, but I don't want to do it, so I signed you up." And I was like, "Okay." And then I ended up doing it, and then I was like, "Man, I'm such a bad runner. Like, I'm like really, really bad at running." And I was like, "Well, maybe I'll just try to run, and then I'll see if I get better at it." And then, so yeah, I kind of just it helped me more mentally than physically.
Yeah.
Just the act of just getting out there, and then there's a point where your mind gives up and stops trying to like trick your body to stop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just kind of think clear. And so yeah, I've just been enjoying that. I've been running these like little just encouraging people to get out, you know, kind of little inspirational things on Instagram where it's like, I call it the quarantine 13 and then like the COVID 7. And so just encouraging people to get out wherever they're out, get outside, obviously. And then get your heartbeat up and get some oxygen through your lungs. And it's been cool. A bunch of people have been stoked, and like probably had like 20 or 30 people run last week. I think we'll probably do it again this week, actually. But yeah, man. So
yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you were doing that. Are you giving Salty Crew stuff out to these guys?
Yeah, I was giving these codes out. I was just giving these codes out for a pretty big percentage off.
Right.
But I mean, really, it's just like people were stoked on that. But like, if people DM me back and be like, you know, you got a Traeger code or you got a Smith code or like kind of whatever you want, like I'd find it for you. You know, yeah, don't be scared to ask. But yeah, that's, you know, because there was a lot of people, and it's funny too, because I've had people hit me up from Europe like, "Oh man, I'd love to be able to run, but we're on a lockdown where it's like if we go outside our house, we have to have papers and a mask, and we're only allowed a kilometer outside of our house," you know? So they're like, "Oh, it'd be hard to run 13 miles with a mask on and a kilometer radius." I mean, you could do it, but they're just like, so there's so many different levels around the world of, you know, what lockdown looks like. Mm-hmm. So it's been cool to like sort of see that. So that's why I picked running, because I was thinking like it's probably the thing you could do the easiest and by yourself, and would encourage people to like give them a goal or inspire them to be like one of the twin groms like ended up skateboarding like 30 miles. And then he's like, "Tomorrow I'm going to run, dude. I'm going to send it. I'm just going to run 13 miles. And the next day he texted me. He was like, "Dude, my body's kind of hurting. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can."
Was it Logan or Gavin?
I think it was Logan.
Yeah.
You know what? I still can't tell them two apart, man. I just say Logan or Gavin or whatever, dude. Yeah.
The first year we took the All-Stars to Hawaii, they came and stayed in the house with us, man, and they were so much fun, man. We had so much fun with those two kids. I love those kids. You know, Logan had a day at Rocky Point where I kept telling those kids, man, you know, and the inside of Rocky Point is like this deep, and all of them are trying to do like these last little hits on the wave, and I'm going, you know, you guys are going to kill yourselves. Well, Logan gets a wave, and he goes and he does a hit, and as he comes down, he sees the reef, and he just jumps on his board on his belly and just, I mean, ripped all the fins out of his board. Had a big old dig, and he comes in, and I videoed him, and I was like, "So Logan, what do you think about Rocky Point?" And he's like, "Rocky Point is gnarly," and I'll send you the video. I still have it on my phone. It just cracks me up, man. They're a blast. I love those guys.
That's funny, man. Yeah. I mean, probably I still sacrifice my board over my body.
No, he did. Full sacrifice. It was hilarious. We had a good time on that trip. But yeah, I'm stoked to see those guys, hooking up with you. And it looks like you're doing a lot of fishing with them, surfing with them.
Yeah, I've been able to spend a bit of time with them. They help me out a lot. They're really helpful. If I get on the road and we're doing some tour for Salty Crew or whatever, I call them up. I'm like, boys, I need help. I need manual labor here.
Yeah. No, they're
Chad,
good.
make sure you have the right shoes on. Chad, what shoes do you wear? I've adopted to those the zero drop ultras. Sorry, he was talking running talk right there.
Running talk, get it. I love it.
Yeah, you see any other questions? Oh, there's Kylie right there. Man, that girl's funny, dude. She gives everyone a hard time.
Yeah, any questions you see on there, man, feel free to answer them.
Yeah, there's the McCart crew right there. Yeah, Beckham. Beckham, what have you been up to, bro? What's been happening, dude? Yeah, I get kids are out there skateboarding. I mean, man, these kids must be ready to get.
Yeah, Beckham and Daya both are on the All-Star team. Love those kids, man. Good kids. Good parents.
They're rippers too, dude.
Rippers.
I think you can still surf in like Satellite Beach, and I think you can still surf in Central Florida. You just go to the beach and.
Yeah, I'm seeing photos from Central Florida.
Yeah, there's Todd, dude.
Surfing with Cashy.
Yep. Yeah, those guys are hitting those secret spots you were talking about, Mo. Shouldn't be revealing. They'll shut it down, dude. So if you go to Publix nowadays, everyone might know this. I just went there today, and dude, all the aisles you got to walk like a certain way down it. Did you know this?
Yeah, they got the arrows. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we almost shut the place down. I was going the wrong way on aisle 1. I was like, dude, I haven't been here in like a week.
Oh yeah, they're getting serious, man.
That was new for me, so I learned. I'm obeying the rules now. So
yeah, I've been lucky and been able to sneak off onto the base and get some waves with a friend of mine, man. But
nice. You gotta keep that on the down low. They're gonna start shaming you on here, bro.
Nah, it's if you don't have the pass, you can't get on, man. That's just it.
Nah, I can't even get you the hall pass, dude. It's freaking mode solo session.
Right, yeah. Come on, help me out.
When you going to show, oh man, ducks with Chris, dude. Yeah, that would be fun, dude. Joe Polito, man.
Garvin Thorson, you remember that guy?
Oh yeah, dude.
He's on here. Garvin was
Garvin, how you doing, bud?
Heavy ripper from St. Augustine.
Yeah,
absolutely. So let me ask you: when you had the Mini Hune crew boys when you came up, but it seemed like when you guys got in juniors that other names started coming around. Who was some of your toughest competition in those junior ranks before you guys ended up turning pro?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. Are we talking like Florida East Coast?
Yeah, East Coast championships. Yeah, like East Coast times.
I mean, obviously, as you know, you're like, whoa, my birthday's, I'm gonna move up to the next division, right? And then you're like, here it comes. And then gosh, dude, I've hit my head a bunch of times, so you have to be patient with me here.
No worries.
I mean, I feel like, especially like Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Corey Lopez for the most part. There was a kid named Danny Margliano.
Oh yeah, from Jersey. Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy was good. I think he won it one year, man. And the waves were firing. He
won boys one year. He sure did.
Yeah, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, this dude's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there are those sleepers, and for some reason, you just remember those names.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he blew my mind. Pete Mendia would always blow my mind because he was just so powerful, man. And
he's still blowing my mind.
Yeah. So CT Taylor was so powerful.
Yeah.
I would. There was weird guys I just tripped out on. who?
I remember one year. I want to say, huh?
I said, help me out. Throw some names.
Yeah, I remember one year we were up there, and when we would go to East Coast, it was like
Rob Kelly, like Danny Marks.
Oh yeah, that's his boy.
Marks up to Kelly, Rob.
He's gonna be on here Thursday. We got Rob on here Thursday.
Oh, sick, dude.
But in '95, I went up there. Mitch Kaufman was our North Florida director, and we all hung out, close team, while we were there. And Asher, that was the first year Asher.
Yeah.
And the Waves were smoking that year, man. And Asher's, kept making heats, made the 8-man final, kept winning. And then I think it was, I want to say I think it was Ben Bourgeois he ended up in the final with. And Asher won it that year. And that was we all knew Asher Rip, but that year, with having to surf against you two guys and then Ben, and it was huge. I mean, we were so stoked for him. We carried him up the beach.
No, that's it. I mean, Ben Bourgeois, Asher Nolan, Corey, Margs, Dave Dixon, Mike Lee, CT, Mendia, all those guys, man, dude.
That was gnarly. Super gnarly.
So, yeah, I mean, you look at the final and you would just be like, you couldn't even look at the names. I remember that. If you looked at the names, your brain would just melt. You're like,
I tell kids to this day, just go up there, find your name and what color you are, and don't look anything.
Yeah, don't look at. Yeah, I don't even know who's in my heat, what time I surf at.
It's just best sometimes just to go get your jersey and walk down there.
Actually, you know what, dude? My brother actually did that. Like when he got to the CT. Like, I was a guy that just had a look. I was like, I want to know. I got to find a reason to hate this guy, put a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I want to know who it is. Dude, my brother seriously was like, don't tell me. Like his first few years on tour, he's like, don't tell me who it is. I don't even want to know. I'm like, and then, sometimes the contest would go on hold for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm like, you really don't want to tell me who you got, like 3 days, 4 days go by. I was like, I don't want to know. I was like, I don't know. It works. Some people are that way. They're just like, I just don't want to know.
Yeah. What do you miss most about the tour, or if anything?
Oh yeah, dude. I remember a guy, Chad Hopkins.
Oh, Hopkins. He was from Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
Yep. He was
Chad
a ripper
too. Duffield. You remember a guy? Was it Duffield or what was his name? It was up in New Smyrna. Remember Matt? What's his name? Matt Duffy. Matt Duffy. Yeah. Yeah. That guy was a ripper, dude.
Yeah, I think he passed away. I think Matt
Duffy passed away. Yeah, he's passed away.
But he was a ripper. Yeah, I remember Duffy was really good. And North Central Florida too. I remember a kid growing up around my age, maybe a little younger. Danny Bussert was a kid, did ESA a bunch, and power surfer. Him and I think Jim Parker was another kid from the North Central Florida. There was a bunch, man. It was back when you guys were coming up in it. I was coming up in it.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Creeder, dude.
Creeder, yes.
Creeder, Duffy. Yeah, Creeder was gnarly, man.
Yeah, still is. I just saw some recent. That someone took of him. Some recent pics, man. It's still killing it.
Yeah, there's so many rippers up there, dude.
Yeah. What's who was your favorite other than your brother? Who was the most competitive person you ever surfed against through ESA and all that?
Say that again. Sorry.
Other than your brother, who was the most competitive guy? Who, if you walked down and saw someone in your heat, who was that guy other than your brother that you went, oh, okay, it's on?
Gosh, man, that's a good question. I was probably the biggest a-hole, to be honest. I mean, I brought the bag of prick for sure. Who I'm trying to think of, like, I'm trying to go who was on my back, like who was keeping me off waves. Everyone was better than me, so I was the one that was like, these guys are better. I just gotta be more of an a-hole. But honestly, I don't remember. I remember Ben being like the nicest guy.
Yeah, still is.
I don't honestly. No one comes to mind that you're just like going like, oh my gosh, this guy was worse than me.
Yeah. What about when you got on tour?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Everyone was. There was a certain point where I was like, oh my gosh, like yeah. I mean that's and then when I first got on tour, that's where I kind of learned. I remember I went to Guadeloupe and I wasn't trying to make the tour. Like I wasn't qualifying. I was just like, oh, this contest is in Guadeloupe and it's like a 4-star, so which would have been like a 6-star now. But I was like, I'll just go down there and just see what happens. I think there's like a junior or something. And then that was like when like John Shamuka and there was like a group of Australians. Everyone was like, they needed to do good in this contest because it was like one of the last big contests before like one of the last couple CTs. So people needed to secure their spot. Yeah, Randazzo did. Randazzo's not. But yeah, these guys wanted to kill me. Like we made a couple heats and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are they just would like, I'm gonna kill you, kid. You know, and I was like, okay, so but the point about the story is like that's where I learned like, oh, you can't back down. Like you just gotta let them know that you're gonna be here forever, and they're just gonna have to learn to deal with you. And you know, if it makes you feel better, knock me out, like whatever. So the point of the story is like there was an older group when I started getting into it. There was an older group that was older than me that was like sort of taught me like this is how you have to be. And so I took that as like, okay, I guess this is how you have to be. But yeah, and then when the Brazilians come, then yeah, man. I mean, it's
the contest in Guadeloupe. You made the final of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I made the final, and people that needed those points were not stoked. I mean, I basically was in that final getting points that I was not going to use. So there was like I could feel laser beams from the beach, like it like hit me in the back of the head, dude.
Right.
It was like, holy, is this what it looks like? But it was cool because then it was like, well, do you want it this bad? And then I had to just do some inventory and just go, yeah, I want it this bad.
Yeah.
Like if this is what it looks like, I want it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it was good to sort of get those things early. But yeah, man, I mean, you know, the Brazilians are so good nowadays. They don't even need to do anything. But yeah, like when I first got on tour, man, I mean, you could see it was just like, it was battle fest. And I was cool with it. I was like, all right, this is what it looks like. You know, this is another side of it. So
yeah. With the Guadeloupe story, Ocean and Earth USA used to be based. Good friend of mine, Terry Strumpf, and Richard Thompson owned it, and it was based right here in Jacksonville. And Shane Werner won that contest in Guadeloupe.
Yeah, Shane Wiener. Yeah, that was
Wiener. Yeah. Well, he came to Jacksonville right after that to hang out because he was sponsored by Ocean and Earth, and he hung out with Terry, and I got to meet him. And he was talking about this young kid from Florida, CJ Hobgood, and we were like, oh yeah. I remember. It's funny how you we can link it together. That was cool, man.
Oh, that is classic. Yeah, I remember that. And he like needed those points for sure.
Yeah, he qualified that year. He sure did. With that win, he qualified.
Yep, that was it. So I was thrown into that like reality of like, I mean, you're coming from, ESAs and you're just like, woohoo, this is sick, yeah. And then you're like, whoa, man, this is a deal, man. You're taking food off people's plates and they don't like that.
Grown men trying to feed their families,
and they're away from their families, and I was like, that didn't even come into my mind until you get into that arena, and then so it was a good learning, it was good.
Well, it definitely worked out for you, man, without a doubt.
I think I was like 16 at the time, 16, 17, is that right? Yeah, somewhere around there.
Wow, that's incredible. What's the first year you went to Hawaii?
15 years old was the first year.
Yeah. Who'd you go with?
I went with Darren Brillhart. He was the
Brillo.
Yeah, Brillo was the Rusty team manager. Mm-hmm. We stayed at Mark Fu's house, which was like his rental house, which was pretty gnarly because he lived right across the street, and he like, I want to say it was like, I'm a Grom, 15 years old. I've never met Mark Fu, but you've heard about him, and I want to say maybe like a week or two earlier, he had just died at
Oh, wow.
at Mavericks.
Mm.
So it was like, yeah, there was, and in the house that we were in, there was a photo of Mark Fu. And so I remember that from that trip. I remember like getting like the most giantest bowl of cereal and just filling it full of Lucky Charms. I remember that. And then I remember going out and I was like, you know, when it's like big and kind of like on shore, and we're just looking at the bay. Bay's probably like 12, 15 foot, but it's breaking. No one's out. And finally, like, Brillo could probably tell the story better, but I'm like, dude, let's just go out. We got the boards. Let's just do this. And he's like, Grom, you don't want none of that. I'm like, but let me just go for a sniff. And then we went out there and caught a couple waves and we kind of got our bell cleaned pretty good. And where I was just like, whoa, this place is pretty gnarly. And then after that, then pipe pumped for like 4 or 5 days. And I remember we were surfing and Brillo was like, dude, this doesn't normally happen. Like, don't get used to this. Pipe is not perfect like this for 4 or 5 days. And
right.
We were just taking off on like closeouts. I remember actually the first like 4 or 5 waves I caught at pipe, I pearled on every single wave. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to surf the wave that I've dreamed about. I can't even make the drop.
Well, there again, you adapted well. Good grief. You had some of the best surfing I think I've ever seen you do on video or anything has been at places like Pipe, Chopes. I mean, just, you know, Tavarua. I mean, man, your barrel riding is phenomenal, man. Absolutely incredible to watch.
Trial and error, I guess. I failed enough times to pass on a couple.
Yeah. Well, what I like about us taking the Groms out there like we do is you know, you get them out there and you get them into some bigger surf, and as the days go by, watching them get more comfortable, you know, and then when we come back is really where I see the confidence level go through the roof. One kid that sticks out in my mind big time is the first year we took Blair Barton out, a kid from Virginia Beach. And Blair is a ripper. But, man, after that trip to Hawaii, he has just – I mean, it was like he was another kid. I mean, it just helped him so much, you know, being out there and surfing in those waves, man. And he was out there this past year while we were out there too. And, you know, watching the waves that he's dropping in on, the maneuvers that they're doing on some heavy waves. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch, man, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's, you know, you see those kids, and this kid being one of them. Like, once you taste that, like, once you taste that nectar and that juice, you just go. It's just like this drug that you're just like, I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I'll do anything for it. I'll die for it. And you just like, and that, I mean, you see, that's what that kid's doing. He's just like, I want that. That's what I want right there. I'll sell it all for it, you know? And there's certain people where this thing just flips, you know? Yeah. And that being an East Coaster, that it does it for you. But then you just look at things differently, you know? When you get back home and you're just like, I just look at everything differently now, because you're just, you know, you've felt something that's completely different, and it just expanded everything.
Yeah. There's a kid. We had a session where the boys surfed with Tamayo this year at Sunset, and it was big when we got there, and another swell hit, and within like an hour it doubled in size. And there was some kids. Nick Alarde, Cole Devaney. Tamayo Perry came in and told me Cole had this one giant set, and he told me, he goes, that's the biggest. He made the drop, got to the bottom, and went to do a bomb turn, and his board slid out. But Tamayo told me, he goes, that thing was a massive double up, and I haven't seen an East Coaster try to get a wave like that in Sunset in years. And I was like, dude, Cole, you've made it, bro. You've made it. Tamayo just told me.
Yeah, man. You know, coming from the East Coast, you don't want to let those opportunities go by. You just don't, you know, wonder what was going to happen. That's the beauty of, man, everyone going to Hawaii and experiencing that for the first time, man. So you're giving these kids something that they would just never ever forget.
Yeah, it's a total blast. When's the last time you were out there?
We did that trip in November. So what's it? We're April now. So end of November. I think right after Thanksgiving, maybe we went there.
Yeah.
We went North Shore, and then we went over to Matt Miola's house in Maui, and got some fun waves over there too.
Yeah. That guy is something else too, man. Wow, you guys are stoked to have him on board.
Yeah, he's strong, dude. Yeah, he reminds me of a Florida boy, dude. That guy is, I swear, man, I don't know what it's. Yeah, he should be. It's funny, dude. He's like a redneck, dude. He's just like.
Was he born in Maui? Did he come from Maui? Where's he from?
I think his parents maybe were originally from Florida. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I mean, he was born over there and everything. But I think there's some Florida bloodline in there.
Yeah. Creeping in. I like Ryan Miller's take on you two guys when they asked what's a Hobgood, and he said Southern fried chicken served in hillbilly.
Hillbilly.
He cracked me up, man.
Hillbillies.
Ryan Miller, man, he's a good guy. I love that dude.
Yeah, man, we've been talking to him. Yeah, he's chilling, dude. We're all chilling.
So how did you get started with, tell me the story. I know Salty Crew means something. Give us a definition of it. And how did you get started with Salty Crew? Yeah,
so that was a cool story. Obviously, I hadn't had a sponsor in like 5 years. You know, I was doing the tour, and a lot of kids, you know, like John didn't have a sponsor. So it's like, it's kind of frequent now. Like it's kind of, and I mean, obviously, it'll be interesting as we come out of, you know, what we're coming out of, and sort of to watch all this play out. But back, you know, I was one of the few surfers that actually didn't have a major sponsor at some point. And then, but I got comfortable with it. It was cool. It was a growing experience there. And then, that's Bear.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, Bear.
Get him, Bear. Get him. But so I'm sorry. So Jared Lane from out in San Diego, California, called me up and he's like, "Hey, we're starting this brand." It was like we just, you know, made some of the first clothes. Like it was like early February. They started in like late January, so it'd been like 2 weeks. And I was like, "Oh yeah, tell me about it." And he's like, "You know, it's called Salty Crew. Salty standing for Salvaging a Lifestyle for Tomorrow's Youth. That's sort of the acronym." And then and I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool." And he's like, "Yeah, just getting back to the water, and you know, the industry's kind of left the beach, and we just want to encourage people to get back and just do things the right way. You know, want to have you involved and surfers involved, and just like, you know, do it like how they did it, you know, before, you know, corporate and all those things that we see nowadays. It's pretty, you know, pretty normal, I should say." And it was funny because the stuff that we would talk about like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it's like even more prevalent nowadays, you know, than it was back then. So, yeah, it's just been interesting, man. And honestly, it's just been something I never dreamed of. I'd always like, how do I get out of surfing? How do I find an exit plan? How do I retire, you know? And so it's been, yeah, I came out of that and I started repping in Florida, and then it quickly grew. And then I was doing repping for North Florida, and Rico took over South Florida, and then it grew from there. And then I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do international stuff." And so I've been able to learn like all this stuff, be full hands-on. Obviously there's people a lot smarter than me that I've been able to learn from. And then we have the Globe guys who I've been sponsored by for over 20 years. I think it's been like 24 years. So we partnered with them, and so then they've been able to help us get to the new spot, and like they've been great, man. They've been able to help us, you know, navigate this time right now on like, what do we do? You know, how do we, you know, batten down the hatches to handle this storm that we've been in for, you know, last month and a half. And to be able to get through the other side. So, you know, when the sun starts shining again, we can go about business. And take advantage of all the opportunities that are out there. So and honestly, man, if the business was a lot bigger than it is now, like it probably would be harder for us to make it through, you know? And I feel like there's a nice sweet spot where we're at that I think we're gonna, not only get through it, but be able to in 10 years time, like, really look at this, what we're going through right now as a blessing, man.
Yeah.
I really do. So it's been cool, man. It's been an awesome ride, dude. Look, I got my fall 20 sales meeting shirt on.
Nice.
Yeah, I do all the sales meetings. I show up to all the – actually, I was supposed to go to Japan in February, and it was before the lockdown. There had been like 40 COVID cases or corona cases in Japan, and like me and Jared were like, dude, I don't know. And I'm like, I'll go. I don't mind going. But like, dude, if we get quarantined for 14 days in Japan, you're going to have some coming to God moments because it's lonely as crap. I know people – Dustin Miller, actually from North Florida, got quarantined during the SARS thing in Tahiti. And, bro, he said it was lonely as all crap.
Oh, I bet. Wow.
I had known what it looked like. So we ended up not going to Japan. And then a couple weeks later, we go on lockdown. So, look, I don't know, maybe that was a story that was off subject or topic there, but yeah.
So are you planning on, when this is all over, is that where your sales meeting is going to be? And are y'all still going to do it in Japan?
Well, there was an expo out there.
Okay.
We were going to go out there for that. It was called Interstyle. I think that's what it's called. And then we're just going to go out there and, just meet people. And, when this is over, I'm kind of excited just to go bare bones, grassroots, where you just go back to surf shops and be like, how you doing? How can we help? What are some areas, and just kind of just go back to like square one, man.
It was so, you had relationships with the shop owners and stuff, back in the early 2000s, I was working with Surf Tech surfboards, and man, I loved going in there, and, there were a lot of shop owners that, I love going in and just saying, hey, how's the family? How's your son? What's going on? Let's go surf. Let's go. It was just so, it was so personal. And now it's, it's like everything's done on a computer, and they, lines are getting sent to you. And, I see from Sunrise kind of how they order their stuff. And I'm like, wow, man, it's just not the same. So I agree. I think that if it does do that, I think that's a great thing, especially, for the industry as a whole. Just the relationships and stuff need to be there more.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a reset for everyone, obviously, and sort of like, okay, what things matter. And I see Tracy. How did you balance school with travel? My mom was a big stickler about, hey, if these grades aren't up, you can kiss your surfing whatever goodbye. And that was the only line in the sand. And then my dad would just look at me and be like, hey, don't piss off your mom. You're good to go. Just don't piss off your mom. But actually, you know what? It was a little more lenient. I will admit my mom sent the email like, hey, this is, Kelly was just sort of getting into his thing. And my mom would send the emails to the school. We were in Delora and Satellite, and she was like, hey, this is what they did for Kelly. Let me know if there's any issues. He's going to keep up his grades, and and if there's an issue, like I can just send him up to Cocoa Beach or whatever. So she wasn't like blackmailing him, but she was just sort of going like, Kelly got a pretty big hall pass, so it was kind of like perfect timing where you could get away with some of the stuff. Now it's just 9 days. 9 days. We don't care what you're doing. This is how many days you get off. We don't care if you're surfing or you're sick. So it was definitely easier in the time that I went through, sort of talking to Tracy here about, but you know what, honestly, I just was teacher's pet. I was a closet teacher's pet. No one knew it, bro. I was bringing back gifts. I was buttering up. I was getting good grades, and no one knew it. Like, no one knew what my report cards looked like except my mom and my dad, and I would just make it happen. Like, surfing was the end, and whatever I had to do to get to that end, I did it. I played it. I nothing was going to get in my way. I wanted it that bad.
Well, and if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, go watch the movie, because I mean, him and his brother had their teachers, their principal. They're on the movie talking about how awesome these kids were. You don't hear that much, from teachers and principals.
One was saying, like, yeah, he knew how to get it under the radar. So they kind of sniffed me out. They knew that I was I wanted to go surf, and I was gonna do anything I could to pass or make them happy so I could go surf.
Mm-hmm. The lady Tracy that asked you that question, that's the kid Cole Devaney that I was talking about that caught that monster wave at sunset. Yeah. That's his mom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's very great family. TR, his dad TR used to surf ESA back in the day too, man. Ripper. I think he's a little older than I am, but he was killing it too back in the old East Coast Championship days.
Lee Fuller, what was my first contest placing? We would always go to this place and surf called Sun on the Beach. And then I remember it was, we were like 12 years old, and there was a flyer. Like, back then when contests used to happen, like ESA, they would put flyers up at a lot of the beaches where the kids would surf.
Yeah.
And there happened to be a contest at the beach we surfed called Sun on the Beach. And we're like, dude, there's a contest coming to our beach. Like, we're surfing this thing. And then when the contest started, we found out there was only like 5 people in our division, which was mini hens or something. And I think I got 4th or 5th. So, I mean, either me and my brother got 4th or 5th. So I basically got last place to answer Lee Fuller's question. What was the contest placing? It was 4th or 5th. So either I got last or second to last. So
very cool. Yeah, guys, ask questions.
Sorry, I'm just reading. Yeah.
So what's next? We were able to get out of our houses. We're able to go surf again. What's the first thing CJ Hobgood's going to do?
The lights are turned back on. It is free for all. They have a cure for this thing. Everyone's getting vaccinated. It's just out of sight, out of mind. I won't even remember it. What am I doing? That's a great question, dude. Like, I want to say there's a point where I've tried not, like, I've entertained, but I've tried not to, like, let my mind wander too much, because you don't want to set yourself up for a, like, here we go, lights were supposed to be on the 15th, and then it doesn't, and then you're just like, walking around like Eeyore, So, it's probably it's probably simple, Obviously, I would like to go out to California. I need to go out to California. We had a trip planned. We were gonna do Barbados. We were gonna do the Bahamas, and then me and Levi were supposed to jump over to Australia, and they were gonna do the Melbourne event, the Airborne, and then they were gonna do the Snapper. And I was gonna come at the end of Snapper, and then grab Miola and Levi and go do a trip. So that's where we left off. So it'll be a trip with probably we'll see what happens with the Airborne events and see if the Stab guys run that their contest, and then but basically we'll probably grab Levi and Matt and go do a trip somewhere.
Very cool. So
yeah, I had a spot in mind in Australia at the bottom there. But I don't know where. I don't know. We might have to just regroup because it'll be a different season.
No. Logan Rad, one of our ESA All-Stars, asking, wants to know what's your favorite wave?
Favorite raid? Yeah, I know Logan, man. He's a great surfer.
Yeah, he's in there with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Central Florida program. He's from Central Florida, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My favorite wave was restaurants. Probably still is. And then J-Bay's pretty nuts. There's certain waves that it's like it's nuts because macaronis is like a perfect wave, right?
Yeah.
But macaronis is like so perfect that it's like I don't want to say you get bored of it because that's not the right word, but like, and then there's these waves like J-Bay in restaurants where it's a perfect wave, but it's the most challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't ride it perfectly.
Right.
Like what you have to do from A to B, it's just really hard to get to the. It's weird because it's a perfect wave, right? It should be perfect. You should just be able to just do it. You know, it's those two waves were the most perfect, hardest waves to surf. And I know that's not even proper English, any of that, but so those were kind of my waves that I was just like, what is going on? How's this wave so perfect? And why can't I even just put it together?
Yeah. It takes a lot, just knowledge, reading the wave and where to be on the wave. Yeah, I get you. I totally understand.
You almost have to experience the waves to get what, because you're processing so much so far down the way and you're going so fast that you miss a turn or, you know, a little of this or that. It's just, it's really puts you that you just everything's gotta be firing. So it's cool. That's why I like those waves.
I had the privilege of surfing macaronis. Went on a boat trip with a friend of mine, Jason Hoy, who was ripper back, you know.
Wait, did you say sport?
Huh?
Wait, Jason
Hoy.
Oh, Jason Hoy, okay.
Yeah, he's from here. Used to have to surf against Holland and Sean Slater and all those guys back when I was a young kid. He's a little bit older than me, but I went on.
Remember Jason Griffith?
Oh yeah.
Dude, how gnarly was Griffith? When you said that name, I was like, I instantly thought of Jason Griffith.
Is he Virginia Beach or is he Jersey?
Yeah, he's Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach, that's right. Yep.
Pretty sure. Yeah, Griffith was gnarly. We forgot about him.
Jason rips, man. Absolutely. I'm sure he's still ripping.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a boat trip and got to surf macaronis one day for like 3 hours, man. And none of the boats were there. It was just me and this other. It was me and Jason. It was amazing. It was. I mean, it was ridiculous how good it was. You know, there were no wave pools back then besides like Typhoon Lagoon, so you couldn't say, "Oh, it's like a wave pool." It was phenomenal. It was the most perfect wave I've ever freaking surfed.
Yeah, where every wave was like literally like pretty similar.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, favorite East Coast wave, Monster Hole. Did you ever think about surfing Easterns at the Hatteras Lighthouse? Dude, I have so many memories from the Lighthouse because my dad's a Carolina boy, and that's where, you know, he first fell in love with surfing and then ended up moving to Florida because he fell in love. So like things that were passed down from my dad and so that was our pilgrimage, like Lighthouse. You know, we would drive from Florida, and it was a lot of my memories are from the Lighthouse as a kid, and they still are. So did you ever surf Ocean City, Maryland? I did surf Ocean City, Maryland. I actually caught it pretty good. I was tripping when I was a kid because you couldn't surf anywhere except where the contest was. Like no free surfing. And I think it might have been like an ESA event. And they we were there doing some like Rusty tour maybe or something. And they they're like, oh, we're gonna have a heat where you guys can go out and surf because you couldn't just like surf on the side. You can maybe ride a boogie board or something because it was all swimming area.
Black ball beaches.
Yeah, black ball everywhere except where the heats are running. I was tripping out. Yeah. But yeah, I have surfed that. There was another question. Oh, ESA, how did the movie come about? Justin Purser, who we grew up with, he was like, hey, he sent us an email. We hadn't talked to him in a while. He's living in LA, making movies. And before that, he was doing music videos. How much longer we got, Motes?
Hey, that's up to you, brother.
I got kids crying.
Hey, when them kids are ready, you're good, man. I appreciate all the time you've given us so far, man. Thank you. This has been fun.
What was the story? I was saying a story. Forgot.
Oh, I forgot too.
That's not that important, dude. Oh, how the movie came about. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
So, and man, dude, that was like, whoo-wee. I mean, you could look at it right now and be like, oh, quarantine, movie just got for free. You could sit here and say, oh my gosh, this is the perfect storm. It is the perfect storm, right? Like, I can't, like, wow, these things are well outside of our control. And it's been awesome. But to get to this point, whoo, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, man. I would not. It was hard, dude. It is work, man. It is work. I don't know how these actors like act in movies. And I'm not saying I was acting. I wasn't, I don't know how they act in a movie and then go promote the movie. No wonder these actors go crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking
a lot.
Man, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's exhausting.
Well, I love the movie, not only for the, watching you and your brother as you grow up and extend into the pro ranks and the success you had, but 2 twin boys, identical twins, an incredible talent at something, and what y'all had to go through together, getting, keeping it going through all that. The story behind that was really cool. My brother Chris has 2 sons. They're not twins, but they're very close. And he got them to sit down and watch the movie, and it was like, he was watching them watch you guys, and they were relating to everything that was going on with y'all, which I thought was super cool. I'm like, that's something I wouldn't even have thought of, but he brought that up to me, just this, what you guys just as trying to be individuals as you came up, and you were just kind of, it was like you were grouped together so much, and what y'all had to do to get through that. It was very cool.
Okay, sweet. Congratulations. Good stuff.
All right, brother. Well, hey.
No, you guys are good, man.
Okay.
Hey, dude, thank you so much for having me, dude. Like, hey. I'm not sure how long we're on lockdown, but like, we can always do it again, man.
Yeah.
Hi. Guess who's got a birthday in a little bit?
When? When's her birthday?
April 17th.
On Friday.
Mine was April 12th.
Oh, happy birthday, boy.
Thanks, brother. Happy birthday to you. How old are you going to be?
What's up?
How old is she going to be?
Oh, she's going to be 7 years old.
7 years old. All right.
All right. This is Bowie. How's your teacher been?
Good.
Yeah. I'm the fake teacher. I'm the fake teacher.
Love it. Well, CJ, thank you.
We love you. Hey, everyone that asked a question, and thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
I hope everyone's enjoying this time that they didn't know they had with their families. So, right on.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, CJ. Bear wants in on the show.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, CJ. See you soon.
If I can get out of here, I don't know if I can. What do I do? Stop there.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. Oh, I can't hear you, Michelle.
That would be because I was muted.
There you go.
All right. Thank you guys so much, Jason. Thank you. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you,
We really
CJ.
appreciate all the time he gave us. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for being patient with us and making it happen.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday night, where he's going to be talking story with Rob Kelly.
Yep.
So, Rob, if you're still on here, we're excited to have you on here with us on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. And tell all your friends, everybody. And we'll see you guys back here at 7 o'clock on Thursday.
Sounds good. We'll be talking story.